Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Radical Healing Podcast. I'm your host, Jess Betancourt. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoy this podcast, we would really appreciate you leaving us a rating and a review with all the stars and all the nice things to say so that we can reach a wider audience and involve more people in these conversations. My guest today is Amita Sharma. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her before we get into her story and the healing modalities that she works with and she offers. Amita is the co-founder of NourishDoc, a platform dedicated to holistic, culturally sensitive wellness solutions for women navigating perimenopause, menopause, and midlife changes. Through Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, yoga, and other integrative therapies, they help women break free from unhealthy coping mechanisms and reclaim their health mentally, physically, and emotionally. Welcome, Amita. It's so nice to have you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Jessica. I'm super excited. We had some hiccups in the morning, but hey, we figured it out, and here we are together.
It's meant to be.
Mhm. Yes.
Amita lives in and around my favorite place in the world, which is San Francisco, California. I feel a strong connection coming through the virtual land.
Yeah, yeah. It's we have so much family in UK, so definitely there's a connection there.
We're in the same time zone then. Um,
Mhm.
Amita, I would love for you to start off with just telling us about Nourish Doc and how it came to be.
So, NourishDoc is with the purpose, right? The company we founded, the idea is to really help women when we women are going through our mid-age. It's not only the perimenopause, the menopause that kicks in, of course, but also, we have kids, we have so much stress at work, we're trying to balance so much. And then suddenly, boom, the perimenopause kicks in, and we are just not prepared. We
Mm.
don't know what to do. And this whole thing that happened to me, when I was in my early 40s, and did not even know the word perimenopause. I was not prepared, and I suffered. And the other problem, what happened is that,
Oh, sorry, I was going to ask you, what did you start noticing? Because, like, I'm on the brink of this phase.
okay,
What were some of the things that told you that this was this part of life that you were going through this transition?
so you're going through yeah. So
I
I
don't know. I mean, I will be. If I'm not already, I'm definitely going to be soon. But I'm wondering for you personally, what were things that you started to notice that you're like, ooh, this is something different?
So for me, it was just the fatigue, right?
Okay.
The fatigue won't go away. And then along with the fatigue, of course, my menstrual health, my menstrual cycle started changing, and the flow was very heavy and unpredictable.
Mm.
That caused a lot of anxiety because I had no clue when suddenly things are going to start happening. So anxiety was something, and then trying to balance my work and my kids and my home, all those things just added so much stress. And then the other thing was hot flashes. Those were also unpredictable. I would start sweating sitting in meetings with most of the time men who
Mm.
I was supposed to coach them to do what they're supposed to do, and they're looking at me and I'm kind of sweating.
Oh no.
It was, I mean, now I can laugh about it, but
I
that
know.
it
It
wasn't
reminds me of
cool.
just lactating out of nowhere, like being
I
in line
know.
at the grocery store and milk would just pour down my shirt.
That's what happens, right, with women sometimes suddenly. So it was just these, and then with the hot flashes at night, I wasn't able to sleep properly, and then in the morning, my brain would be so groggy, and I wasn't productive. My productivity at workplace, I was not able to concentrate. It was
Mm.
really bad. It like this was kind of like a vicious cycle, circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I did not know how to get out of it. And that's kind of, I thought something was wrong with me on a medical, like my health, right? I never thought. See, that's the problem with most of the women.
Yes.
We
Awareness.
don't know that
Yeah.
we're entering that perimenopause transition phase. I thought something is going on wrong with me from a physical wellness or the medical part of it. And I went to the doctor, and then I was prescribed antidepressants, and I did not want to be on antidepressants. These kind of things. I'm like, I have anxiety issues. I have some borderline depression, but I don't want to start taking medication, right?
Oh
Most of the
my God, a male doctor, I imagine.
Yeah, because see,
No
the thing,
shade on you men, but these
yeah.
are perimenopause symptoms.
So
Okay,
these
so
are
they
things,
wanted to prescribe you antidepressants.
nobody told me this is going to be a 10-year kind of a journey that
Uh,
I'm going to embark on. And what is happening is this is what's going to happen with you, and you should be kind of whatever prepared, or do this, or have options. Even HRT, nobody talked to me. Things have changed a lot, right? Since the last decade, is what I'm saying. Things have changed a lot now. We are talking about this topic more in media and everywhere, but still, women are confused. I've interviewed over 1,500, maybe more, 2,000 women across the world, and still women are confused.
hmm I feel confused. Nobody told you about it. I mean, not really. You kind of hear jokes about it in movies, or you hear older ladies, a lady's complaint discussing what's happening to them. But, we're out of our mother's houses when this happens to us. So it's not like when you start menstruating or when you become pregnant, it's like this is something to expect. This will happen to you because we're more the ones who are in charge taking care of everybody else. We don't really have that mentorship anymore, or for the most part, at least in the West, we don't live in community with older women where we're educated and we get to gain from their wisdom. Yeah, where it's like floating, wandering
It's
aimlessly, trying to figure it out. This
Yeah,
isn't
I
like,
think this is something we don't talk about it with our friend circle, or we just when we meet up, for just dinners, and this is not a topic to be discussed. This is sort of like a hush hush kind of a thing. Oops, by the way, you
why
know.
do you think? Should we be embarrassed? I mean, why do you think? Because women, I mean, the women I know, they talk about everything. But you're right, they talk about everything, but I don't hear. A lot of my friends are in there. I mean, I'm in my early mid 40s. My friends are like up to their mid 50s. I don't hear them talking about hot
Yeah.
flashes and things like that.
Well, if they're in their mid 40s, or in the late 40s, they definitely have had some kind of a experience, or some kind of an interaction with the hot flashes, or any of the symptoms. And there are over 37 symptoms that a woman, not that she's going to get all the symptoms at one time, but different symptoms can come at the different stages of your perimenopause, right?
Mhm.
Initial first few years is when the hormonal fluctuations are happening. Initially, it's mainly hot flashes, but then as you start inching towards the menopause, these symptoms can start changing. Loss of libido is another one of them. And I don't
Mhm.
think women talk openly about this. Vaginal dryness is a big one. For a lot of women, it starts happening, and it can be very painful, the intimacy.
I think
But
I've heard one person ever say that in my life. Yes. So, okay, so that's another symptom to be aware that you're in the stages of perimenopause, right?
yeah, perimenopause, menopause. I mean, things will happen differently for everyone. Is what generally, and I'm citing all the research. What I have done the research. Like I said, I'm not a medical doctor, but I've talked to about 1,500 of holistic experts from all over the world, and done a lot of research. And that's what the research talks about: is the different stages of perimenopause. When it starts, like estrogen is still high up there when generally when the whole journey starts. And you see a lot of women also put on weight, right, around the midriff. That's very
Mm.
common as well. Most of the women, I'm not saying everyone, but most of the women will end up putting on weight
I'm
as
like,
well.
oh, I just got rid of mine.
Baby
Just
weight.
now.
And the hair thinning is another one.
No,
The hair also starts thinning for a lot
hair
of women.
thinning. I've heard that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you experienced some array of these, and then I'd love to go tap back into the journey that you went on. So they wanted to prescribe you sorry, antidepressants. And did you take them? Did you accept, or you said no, that you didn't want to do it?
No, no, no. I have a very bad with the medication. I don't do very well with medication. Like I can take one or two, like if I'm sick or fever or something, but I'm not good at taking something that's recurrent, medication,
Mhm.
like I'm being on it. So I actually at that time started exploring into the holistic therapies a lot because I wanted to fix myself. I was like beyond fixable, right? In the sense like it's crazy. I'm just not being myself. And that's the time. Before that, also, I used to do a holistic, but I started diving into how can I change my diet? What can I do to exercise? Well, okay, maybe I can try aromatherapy. Maybe I can try Ayurveda, or I did a lot of acupuncture. So that's the time I started digging into all of this and trying to see what is it that how I can fix myself. And I did a lot of trial and error. I wish at that time I had talked to a naturopathic doctor. I had no clue that I should go and talk to a naturopathic doctor or someone who knows. I was only going to the conventional medical doctor route, right?
Mhm. Oh, Amita, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
So that was sort of like it took a lot of, like I said, trial and error back and forth. But I started developing a routine, like sort of like a routine, and then I started doing a lot of things. Started fixing my diet, started changing my exercise routine, started taking care of my hair, started doing Ayurveda, some of the Ayurvedic therapies, some of the supplements, a lot of things is what I'm saying. It's not
Mhm.
just one thing, and
Right.
that will fix it. I wish it was, but they talk about hormonal replacement therapy now. I was talking to a doctor over the weekend, and you know what? Now, yes, it has become like they've come a long way as far as side effects and all that, but you still need to go and get it properly done with someone who understands the hormone replacement therapy and check a lot of testing and all that kind of stuff. But I, at that time, was not offered HRT, and I didn't have not taken any HRT.
And when did you start feeling better?
I've been feeling pretty good for the last quite a few years because I think what made the difference is that I follow a very strict diet and
Mhm.
I eat very clean. I let go of a lot of things that were giving me aggravation, like alcohol. Pretty much, I let go of that. I would have it socially, and then exercise. I developed a very strict regimen in the sense that I almost exercise every single day, and then like I said earlier, a lot of Ayurvedic therapies and acupuncture and some hypnotherapy, some even counseling, all of the above. Not that I'm doing that now. I'm not into any therapy or anything now, but I started feeling better. I've been feeling better for many years now. Quite a few
Mm.
years, I would say that. Yeah.
So you took alcohol out of your diet, and what did you notice when you did that?
So alcohol would always kind of aggravate. I would start feeling a little heavy on my right side, like the liver
Ah.
side. Yeah, and I would all it will always kind of somehow aggravate my stomach, right? That was some of the things. So, but it's not. I used to have alcohol quite often, but it helped me. It helped me a lot because I would not get any of the symptoms won't get aggravated. So alcohol actually has a research that it can aggravate some of the symptoms for a lot of women, right?
Mhm.
Specifically the hormonal fluctuations I'm talking about. We're talking all in context of perimenopause, menopause, not the journey of a woman before that, right? When she's young, right? So, so,
You have
so
a really high metabolism and all your enzymes.
yeah, exactly. So coffee is another one of those. Caffeine can also do that. Processed food, I let go. I completely cleaned
You
up
let
my.
go of coffee too?
Yeah, I went off coffee, I went off alcohol, I went off completely zero processed food, zero white things, refined flours and
Uh-huh.
white rice and stuff like that. Very less sugar, only natural sugar. Let go of the white sugar. So, and then I replenished it with a lot of foods like fresh vegetables and high protein, nuts and seeds, healthy fats, all those things, right? And then also brought in herbs to my diet, daily diet, a lot of herbs, these kind of things, right, to help with my stomach, with my gut health. Gut health is very important, by the way, for a lot of women. What happens is, according to the research, the gut microbiome also changes. And we know that the gut and the brain is connected. So it was really, for me, my gut health was not good.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to fix my gut health, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I started, not that I, recommend every woman to do the experimentation, what I did, but what I started doing was I started taking Triphala. It's an Ayurvedic supplement or
Yes.
something. I don't know if you heard about it.
I
Triphala.
know about because someone in my family is always constipated, and so like wherever they are, there is also triphala because it
Okay.
helps move the bowels.
Exactly. So I do that in the morning. Every morning, I'll have a ginger root, a turmeric root, and I'll put a little bit, teeny bit of triphala in the water.
You
In
do
fact,
a raw ginger and a raw turmeric root.
yeah, raw
Yeah.
ginger, raw turmeric root with
Mhm.
triphala, with a little bit of cumin seeds
Is that the
sometimes.
first thing you consume in the morning?
Yeah, yeah, I still have the cup.
And you're still enjoying it.
I have that every morning. It's and what they do is, even in Ayurvedic, they talk about CCFT. It's cumin and I think coriander seeds and fennel. So what they
Hmm.
do is you put the seeds. I put the seeds in the morning, right? Some cumin seeds, some fennel seeds. Fennel also has the good
Yeah,
digestion,
I love fennel. Hmm.
right? So try to so these are the things,
You
right?
toast them? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you
No,
toast
no, I
them?
don't.
No,
No,
just raw
just raw. Just boil
with
it in the water.
boiling water. Okay.
And then I put a little bit of a honey to make it taste a little better. Otherwise,
Very
can,
stringent.
it can be very bitter, right?
Yes.
Triphala and some of these, some of these supplements, some of these powders, the Ayurvedic powder can be very, very bitter. So
Hmm.
I'll put a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of honey. So you want to get your digestion going in the morning, right? If you get your
Stimulate
gut,
digestive
yeah.
fire. Hmm.
So that's important, and that was messed up for me at that time, and I think it was a lot of stress and anxiety. You have to wake up in the morning and go to work, and then you're kind of rushed, and so I think that's the first thing I fixed. I fixed my gut health, and then
Hmm.
along with that, my anxiety. Also, I started doing breathing. Breathing is very good. Pranayama, right? What we call it. Yoga, everybody knows, but along with yoga, people don't understand how important different type of breathing can help you calm
Hmm.
down. And that's another thing that I do regularly is different type of breathing practices. There are so many different type of breathing practices that you can
So
do
many.
to help
How
you
do
calm.
you build them into your day? Right? Because like someone listening to this podcast might be like, well, I need to do this habit, this habit, this habit, this habit. No. So, what's a good way for our listeners to incorporate a mindful breathing practice into their day? And could you maybe offer us an example of a simple one that you like that's maybe easy to remember, or we could do it in real time right now if you like?
Yeah, yeah, breathing is something that it's very easy to incorporate, right? So if women are having problems in sleeping, there's one called bee breath. So what you do is you take your thumbs, you put it on your ears
Your
like
ears
that,
on where on
yeah,
your ears?
and then
Top or
you take
bottom?
the rest of the palm and you close your eyes and then you chant Om, like so you go Om.
And then do you inhale through your nose?
Yeah, and then you exhale and then you chant Om. And what you will do is, if you even if you do for 2 minutes, all of us have 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I don't do it for like sitting for 10 minutes like crazy, right? I would just I would literally do it for 2, 3 minutes, and it helps you calm down.
So
And
with
then
your thumbs on your ears, because people can't see us, are your thumbs covering the
yeah,
open?
covering your ears, and then putting it on your
Oh, so
eyes.
you're like blocking out hearing and seeing
Yes,
stimulus.
exactly. You're
Okay.
blocking
Block
out
out the
every
stimulus.
from outside and being present, what we call mindfulness. And this is a great breath for sleeping time. And
To prepare you, yeah, because you can't hear or see. So it's time to go into
exactly,
consciousness. I love it.
it's very different. It's very, and then the other breath that's, and the advantage of breathing is that you don't have to do all these asanas and postures and yoga and set aside 10 minutes. This you could do it sitting anywhere, at work, at home. That's what I really like about this breathing exercises. The other one is nadi shodhana. What you do
Mhm.
is you close one nostril, one side of the nostril. You breathe in from the right, and then your finger goes the other way, and you breathe out from the other.
And then you exhale and inhale on the same side before you switch,
Exactly.
right?
Alternate nostril
Alternate
breathing.
nostril breathing. I love that breath. That breath helped me give birth without
Oh,
painkillers.
wow. Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And with my afterbirth cramps and pains, I would just do alternate nostril breathing until that those contractions would I didn't take painkillers for my fourth child or any sort of ibuprofen or anything. I just did alternate nostril breathing for a while though. I would do it for like, 15 minutes, but it was amazing. It took my headaches
Unbelievable.
away. It's so I work on alternate nostril breathing as well with almost all my clients because it's such an easy one, but it's also fun and kind of like links both hemispheres of the brain because you're using bilateral stimulation across the midline of the body. That's a wonderful one. I love that. What is it called is it the Sanskrit term?
And Nadi Shodhana.
Nadi Shodhana.
It's best cleansing your Shodhana means cleansing, and Nadi is right
Mhm.
here. So it's cleansing. It literally has a meaning if you translate it. Cleansing your nose, cleansing your this part, and it has a lot of science behind it. That's the interesting part. It actually puts in your parasympathetic system right here, your nervous system. It helps you calm down. So
Mhm.
all these breathing techniques is so good to learn, and it will start helping you. The other thing which I'm a big fan of is also not much of research on this one, but aromatherapy, some of the essential oils. It just
Mhm.
makes it feel so good, right? I'll just take a little dab and I'll put it right here in the mornings too, even at night, just a little bit of a lavender or some of the other oils that could be good for menopausal women. That's another one that just makes you feel so good, right?
So good. Almost, it's an instant soother, depending what you need.
Yes,
You're
yes,
using the
correct.
sensitive and the less hot oils. I love aromatherapy. It's just so sensual, so easy, smells amazing. It's like instantly goes into your bloodstream as well as to your
Exactly.
system right up into your brain. I love it. Awesome. So could you tell us a little bit more about the platform that you offer that you work with?
Yeah. So all these things we wanted to, like I said, I did a lot of experimentations, but we wanted to do everything according to the research and the evidence, and with the help of the experts. So what we've built is a platform which we are launching in a week or 2 weeks, within the month of April, is that women should have access to all this in a scientific, in a research way. What is perimenopause? What can they do? So the platform is meant to be have a self-serve modules, which is built on approximately 20 different programs based on the symptoms. And the as a woman, if you come in and you say I'm perimenopausal, we put you into, hey, try to understand what perimenopause is. If you say you have some kind of a concern, you can learn about all that and also learn some simple techniques to help yourself in a self-care program, so to speak, in a simple, affordable way, which is like could be $5 a month. That's it. That's what we are bringing to the table is affordable, evidence-based knowledge or education and some techniques that you could do to help yourself. Now, if you want to, consult with someone or if you want to do group therapy, that would be the second stage where we invite experts and they can do their events or they can do their workshops or they can offer their programs or they can offer some consultation or a chat support. Then we have a network of curated, vetted experts from all over the world that you have access to as a woman who are trained in menopause, perimenopause. So it's really giving a very comprehensive solution and making women understand from the simple affordability and then taking them step by step to the next level where they want to go. And we are also going to partner with the experts who will offer HRT as well. So you get everything. You get the whole picture is what we are trying to do.
Ah, that's amazing. It's like it's a private club for perimenopausal and menopausal women to hang out,
Yes, yes. And
gather, be heard, be seen, not be embarrassed, get answers, get more education and broader awareness about this stage of life that is so shrouded in mystery that every female who lives that long will go through.
exactly. And the whole idea is like so many things that you can't talk to anyone. We were talking about the intimacy issues or some of the other issues. You come here and you're not judged. You don't have to tell your real name. You can be an anonymous, kind
Hmm.
of anonymous or whatever, but you don't have to be judged, and you can get support from, let's say, a sexologist or a sexual health therapist, as an example, ranging from a dietitian to a yoga to a breath work to whatever is bothering you without the fear of being judged. That really what I wanted to bring that to the table for a lot of women. I didn't never felt comfortable talking about my issues to anyone. That was so bad, and you need to have an open communication because it can this whole journey of perimenopause, menopause, it's not only the physical part, it's not a disease, right? We are saying, oh my God, it's a disease. It's a stage of life that all of us are going to go through. And we're going to have physical issues, we're going to have emotional issues, we're going to have some relationship issues, all of the above. In fact, there's so much stats that talks about 60% of women who go through divorce are going through this phase as well. We don't put two and two together.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything that we go through as a woman.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad this exists.
It took
And
a lot.
I'm not clear, has it launched yet? Is it available?
So it's going to be available in a week or 2 weeks.
Okay,
We've
cool.
just we've done all the work. It took us about 2 years to bring it.
Wow.
Yeah, because we wanted to bring the right information. All the information on the platform is through experts. It's all experts talking, experts saying everything. So it's all expert driven. And like I said, we're going to launch it in the month of April. And the experts will be different experts will say different things. So that's really is the idea of making women aware that it is not just the physical part they're going to go through. There are a lot of other things that also that is going to go through, and help is available.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh my gosh. I will be checking that out. Can people find it when it does launch? So I'll probably publish this episode in a couple weeks so that when in the show notes when people go to NourishDoc, it will be
Yeah.
live. Um,
Yeah, everything will be on our website when we make it live, so to speak. So The best way is our website, www.nourishdoc.com. Hopefully, when this is published in a couple of weeks, we should be live. That's the intent. But yes,
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so everyone listening, we have a largely female demographic in this audience, so I think this is a really very helpful and very timely episode for many people. Um, so if you are listening and this resonated with you, please go seek out Amita and NourishDoc, nourishdoc.com, and explore those offerings and know that you're not alone. And maybe you'll see me over there. I'm like, you mentioned tiredness because I have just been like oddly tired, like
yeah,
getting tired out of nowhere, even though I slept well. Like I have to lay down or like I'm getting really bad screen fatigue lately.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm just experiencing weird shifts. I don't know if weird's the word, but like shifts in my desires of what I want to do,
yeah,
my time, my interest. I feel like I want to do much less, but do things more deeply. And
yeah,
I'm wondering, okay, is this, I don't know, is this part of my soul path or is this part of like the biological journey that I'm on or chronological. I don't know, but I feel right now, and it's like it's nice talking to you and being validated and witnessed that change is so natural and like we should expect these certain shifts at times in the in a certain longevity of life. There's these certain thresholds that we will go through, and you're totally right. Like I think this is maybe my first perimenopausal conversation ever that's been more than 30 seconds of like, instead of like, oh, yeah, that's going to happen. And it's like, yeah, it's happening. That's real. And it's not an overnight thing either, right? It's like it's
yeah.
a different phase of journey that requires different kinds of support and resources and permission to change and to
Mhm.
further explore, okay, well, like what else does that mean, like now else do I get, who do I get to be, or what's
Correct.
interesting to me, and allowing things that no longer fit that dynamic to kind of fall away. Like for me it's been alcohol too. I've been like really on I mean, any long time listener of the show and of this journey I've been on of like losing interest of things that no longer fit how you feel resonant with yourself being. And that has to be okay. Like we
Yeah.
we forget that like it's okay to change and that we're meant to adapt and evolve.
The hormonal shift probably that's happening since it's very normal, right, for all of for your age group to going through some hormonal shifts and maybe see what starts happening is the hormonal fluctuations in our body are so kind of going up and down, and we ourselves don't know. And when the hormonal fluctuations are happening, there goes your fatigue and the mood and the emotions and the physical part of it. It's so unpredictable during the perimenopause phase. You might not have even entered perimenopause, but you're just going through some hormonal fluctuations, and that starts impacting your fatigue, your mood, your all kind of things. So sometimes, a lot of experts also talk about getting a hormonal panel done, like a testing done, to see
Mm-hmm.
that if the hormones are out of base or out of sync, right? That can also cause some of these issues. Might not be a bad idea for you to talk to someone and just get your basic testing done and see, because if the hormones are a little bit out of whack, in my case, I'm 100% sure it was, and I never got the testing done, which was the wrong thing. I had no clue to get a hormonal panel testing done,
Mm-hmm.
but that's why these mood swings were going on with me. The fatigue was going on with me, and I would have some kind of emotional burst, which I am usually a cool person, and then suddenly I'm having these strange emotional bursts.
Meltdowns, yeah, emotional
Yeah,
burst. I
meltdown.
like that expression. Yeah.
Even a meltdown sometimes, like what happened to me? So these were something, even I was like so baffled. Like I said, look, I'm such a cool, like a generally a very composed person, and where is this coming from? And it was all hormonal fluctuations that can cause all these things, that can cause your brain to get into emotional strange upheavals that you're not used to, or some kind of a fatigue. And in my case, it was also the inflammation that was built into my body. So I used to be inflamed, so I needed to cleanse my system, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak. So could be so many sometimes reasons for everyone. So I started getting some of the Ayurvedic therapies, Abhyanga, some medicated oil, and some of the other things. So I think it doesn't hurt to get testing done. Is what I should have done. I never got it, but it might be an answer for some of the mysteries that you are going through.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm so testing averse. Like, I'm so go to the hospital
I
resistant
know.
doctor's office. I'm like, no, 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 no. I will work on it first. But that's also a part of me that's shifting is like this maturity of, yeah, just go get some simple blood work or some simple
Yeah,
hormone.
yeah.
No one's gonna hurt you, Jessica. Like you're
I'm the
not
same
gonna be a
way.
lab rat. I'm just
Yeah,
averse to like going
yeah,
to especially a Western medical. I'll go to the Chinese doctor any day of the week. I have such strong resistance to the medical industry. And
yeah.
um, that's something that I need to kind of sit with
I
more
know.
as I get older, and I need to be more responsible with myself. But it's nice hearing it coming from you, even a peer or like somebody who's, doesn't have a different interest.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's just we need to take the best of both worlds.
Mhm.
I'm also like you, the same way. I'll try to fix myself, but sometimes it doesn't hurt to understand what's inside you that's kind of causing. So at least you understand the root cause of it, um,
Mhm.
right? For that reason, I try to get it done every year now. I keep a very tight in the sense like my whatever inside the markers, what hope
Mhm.
everything is done within the track. So I do that to myself every year.
That's inspiring. Also,
I'm
I
like,
imagine though, because it's your work, kind of like my work, I do self research on myself based on my work of like, okay, this hypnosis technique works because I apply it to myself and I like
yeah.
document what happens to me. So I imagine maybe it's kind of the same for you that because this is your professional tract as well, it's interesting to do the observer effect on you or just to notice.
Yeah, no, I think well, of course, the all the holistic therapies and all that, but I think it helps to understand. The reason I get it done is it helps for me to understand what is going on inside my body, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if I know, even if and even if you don't use the medical whatever, you can use the natural or the holistic therapies to fix it. But at least like this time, I got my blood test, all the detailed work done, but ended up going to a naturopathic doctor to help me if there's anything wrong
Hmm.
or what I
Hmm.
should do,
Yes,
right?
I like
So
that approach.
right, so I use that approach, not that I'm taking using that to take any medication. I actually ended up, I got my blood work done not from a doctor but from a lab, as an example, and then I ended up going to a naturopathic doctor and then shared my results and say, okay, tell me, if I need to change anything, what I'm doing. So there could be different approaches for everyone can take. It doesn't mean that if you're not comfortable with something that you have to do it, but it's not a bad idea to understand inside your body, right? Is what at least that's what I,
No, they're like it's an
yeah,
intelligent thing to do, of course.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah,
I like hearing it from you, not someone in a white coat who's like telling me what I must do with my body. I don't know, like as an American, I have so much resistance to being poked and like told what I am, like what to do with my body. I'm just like, no,
yeah,
I will just not come in here. But it doesn't need to be so strongly um,
yeah,
black or white,
yeah, 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 yes, yeah. Well, it's great, it's great, yeah.
Awesome. It's so nice to talk to you. And like, I I don't know, in some weird way, like validated in my stage of life that it's not, there's nothing wrong or abnormal, right? If someone feels off, it could be that your hormones are transitioning into another phase of life and that it's completely fine. And we really need to demystify this era for women, this era of life. So I think you've done a great job of that for us today. Um,
Thank you for
yeah,
having me.
yes, oh, my pleasure. And yeah, I will put the link to NourishDoc under the show notes so that people can find the platform and find resources for themselves. And Amita, it was so nice to have you. And I look forward to possibly the next time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we hope that it actually helps all the women out there. That's why we've been working. And I really want to thank some people like you who are bringing me into podcasts and helping us spread this message and make it aware that this kind of a platform is going to exist for women. So thank you again for your help.
My pleasure. So needed. Thank you, Amita. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Please go check out NourishDoc, and we'll see you again next week.